Hello, welcome to episode 9 of the Eldenwood Craft Podcast. My name's Emma and this is my podcast all about my crafty life. Today is Tuesday the 27th of June, I think, and I'm recording unusually after work. I don't normally record this late in the day. It's very grey and drizzly outside, but I think the light is just about good enough to be able to film a podcast. Thank you to all returning viewers and a big hello to anybody who's watching for the first time. I hope you like what you are seeing, and if you do, please do click on the subscribe button below, and that way you will not miss any future podcasts, and you can go and check out any old podcasts of mine in my channel, details of which are down below. If you're interested in keeping up with me outside of the podcast, then you can find me as Eldenwood Craft on social media. Usually I hang around on Instagram, and I have a website, eldenwoodcraft.co.uk, that has all the links to all the important places. You'll also find details of all the projects that we're talking about today over on my Ravelry pages, and all the links for everything you need are down below. I also have an Etsy shop in which I sell beautiful bags for crafters, and I'll be showing you a couple of those today. I've got a little bit of Etsy news to cover at the end. The other bits and pieces that I'll be talking about, well, really this isn't going to be a full podcast. I was conscious that it's been a few weeks since I last recorded, and that we're coming up to the end of a cal, and I wanted to catch up with you before that cal ended to show you what I'd been working on and to remind you of all the places that you need to visit if you wanted to join in. So we'll be doing a bit of cal news. I'll be showing you one other project that I've been working on and a little bit of an Etsy update. That's all I'm planning on talking about. There may be some other bits and pieces that cross my mind as we go along, we will see. But I'm hoping to do another fuller podcast probably in a couple of weeks' time. So I hope you're all well. Thank you for coming along, and let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about then, just move my glasses, is the cal that's been going along. It's a cal that I've been hosting jointly with Ellie from Craft House Magic. Hi Ellie, hope you're well. And it's the Crafty Knit Along. And if you haven't heard about the cal before, it's a knit along in which we've all been knitting a version of Lena Gerald's striped mittens according to Badagak. I hope that's how you say it. That's how it looks when it's written down. So phonetically it's correct. Whether or not it's actually correct, I don't know. So it has been running, it started towards the end of May and it finishes at the end of June, which is this Friday the 30th of June. So just 3 days left, and 3 days left in which to get your mittens knitted. I have to say, they're very quick to knit up, so if you're watching it today then, and it's not yet Friday, I hope that makes sense, you may well have a chance of getting a pair finished, because they're a really super quick knit. There's nothing difficult about them. What do I have to tell you? Yes, so the cal finishes on Friday the 30th. Post your finished pictures in Ellie's Ravelry thread. She has the finished objects thread. I've been hosting the chatter thread, and it's been great fun. It's the first cal that I've done, and I've enjoyed interacting with everybody, so thank you ever so much for taking part. It was great. I've learnt a few things along the way about some new techniques, which we posted about in the thread, and it's been a lot of fun. So let me show you my mittens. They are almost finished, not quite. That's the first one. Let me put it on. There we go. So mitten number 1. I love these colours. So they have been knit out of the grey is a got the little ball left here. The grey is a Drops merino 4-ply, and then this green, which I don't have down here, that green is a mini from Nora George Yarns, and the other two bluey greens are minis from 5 Moons. I think that's right. So yeah, enjoyed knitting those. So that's the first one. They have this little, or mine have got this little roll at the end. That roll is supposed to be tucked up and knitted in, but actually I quite like the way the roll looks. So yeah, mitten number 1 very much completed. And then mitten number 2, almost done, just got the thumb to go. You can see my dental floss in there, keeping the live stitches. So yeah, exactly the same. I think they're pretty much identical. So yes, really enjoyed knitting those. There have been a few pattern modifications which you can read about in the knit along thread, and yeah, it was a good fun knit along. So the prizes that we have gathered for the knit along, Ellie and I are both donating a project bag. I still need to make mine. We have also been donated 2 balls, 2 skeins of yarn. I don't have mine with me. If you look back on the last podcast episode, you'll see the yarn, and I'll try and pop a picture in here as well. It's a beautiful duckling coloured, well, the colourway name is duckling. It's from lovely Kelly at Lakeside Yarns. So thank you, Kelly, for that. Ellie also has some yarn that's been donated. I forget who from, but she's posted pictures on her Instagram feed of the yarn, and it's really nice, definitely worth winning. And we also have really kindly donated by Ruth of Knitterarium one of her lovely patterns. Ruth is a knitwear designer. If you don't know her, have a look at her on Ravelry and on Instagram. She designed some really beautiful shawls, very stunning actually. And also a sock pattern designer. I'm particularly taken by her, or with her, Pride and Prejudice themed socks at the moment, so I'm going to be knitting 1 or 2 pairs of those soon. So yeah, so a pattern donated by Ruth, thank you ever so much. I think that's all there is to say. All the details of the knit along are in both mine and Ellie's Ravelry groups, and yeah, you can also have a look at the some of the mittens that have been knit up in the chatter thread and in the finished objects thread, and also on Instagram. If you search #crafty_knit-along, you'll see sort of everybody's workings up towards their finished items. It's a lovely feed. So that's the cowl that's been going on. The other work in progress that I wanted to show you is just over here. It's something that I have been just completely addicted to. It's my Vertices Unite shawl by Stephen West. I showed it to you last time. I had probably knit about half of section, no, not even that, I think it was even less than half, I can't remember, but I'd knit a little bit of section 1. I'm now on to the 4th section out of 4, 5, 6, I think it is. I've got the pattern here actually. Let me see if I can show you anything. I quite often don't print out the first page, but I have done on this one. You can't really see very much. See a bit of Stephen's head and the rest of him wrapped up in his shawl. There's a better picture. So it's black and white. You will not be surprised if you know anything about Stephen West. This shawl is actually really bright and colourful in this picture. And to me that looks like he's holding up the small version. He provides two sizes of the shawl. Yeah, I'm sure that's the small version. I'm knitting the larger version, and without wanting to make too much noise with the needles on the table, let me show you the progress that I've made. Apart from knitting my mittens, I've been pretty monogamous with the knitting that I've been doing this over the last three or 4 weeks. Sorry for looking down all the time. I'm just a little bit tangled down here. I've got stitches and ends to be woven in. Stitches on needles that need to be kept live and ends to be woven in. However, this is what we have so far. I'm going to hide my face probably for a minute. I think that demonstrates that the version you saw in the picture that Stephen West was holding up is definitely the small version, because this is massive and it's not even, we've still got a long end down this end to go. Anyway, let me show you. So this blue and grey section is section 1 at the top. The bottom striped section that you can see was section 2. Then I have not long ago finished this square grey section, which is section 3, and I'm currently on this plain section 4. So I've just got these bits at the end to finish off. It's such a fantastically fun knit. I love the way that the sections all join together. The way that you pick up on some of the sections is really interesting. It's a lovely knit, and without wanting to blow my own trumpet, I'm really pleased with the yarn choices that I've made. It's a mixture of commercially bought yarn and some independent dyers. So let me just take you through the yarns. The navy blue is a Malabrigo sock. I forget the colourway name, but it's a navy blue. And the grey that's striped with is it's a Knit Pick Stroll tweed, which is why you can see some of the tweedy flecks in there. The grey and cream section are both Knit Picks. There's a dark grey Knit Pick Stroll tweed, and the cream is this actually. It's a capretta, Knit Picks capretta, which is their MCN fingering weight. It's lovely, really soft. Very soft indeed, actually. I've got some more of this that I'm knitting a 3-coloured cashmere cowl out of at the moment. It's been in hibernation for an awfully long time, but that's going to be really soft and lovely. The grey is just lovely. I've fallen in love with this grey. It's from Nora George. It's a blue-faced Leicester sock base in the Dumbledore's Army colourway. Tracy from Nora George, I posted a picture of this on Instagram and said that I just wanted to knit everything out of it. And Tracy rightly said that it would make a lovely jumper. So I don't know if Tracy still dyes this up, this particular colourway. If she does, I may be very tempted to pick up a sweater quantities worth of this yarn. It's lovely. And then this section 4 is the same capretta. So that's actually all the yarns used. I just need to rotate them again. I forget. So yeah, so I've knit this bit. This is the bit that I've shown you. I'm on this, and I've just got these to go. And if you can see, there's a striped section and a plain section. So that's the Vertices Unite shawl by Stephen West, the large size. It's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. I've put a little bit of detail on my Ravelry project page. I will be updating that fairly soon. If you haven't knit it, I could not recommend it more. I will definitely be making some more. I was persuaded to knit this after seeing the version that the ladies from Espace Tricot had shown on their recent podcast. It was a completely grey version, knit in just one colour grey. I think it had possibly had a bright pink border around it. I haven't actually decided what I'm going to do with my border. I think it's an I-cord bind off border type thing. I've not done one of those before. Someone did ask me on Instagram over the last few days whether I would be doing a colour, and I hadn't planned to. I was going to use one of the colours from my shawl, but I don't know, that's got me thinking. I might have to look through my stash and see what might go. If you've got any thoughts, I'm not very good with colour. I'm very much a neutrals person, blues and greys and browns and things there. That's what I'm good. Well, that's what I'm comfortable with. But if you can think of a neutral that might, if you can think of a colour that might work quite well. Oh, you can see the needle sticking through there. But yeah, if you can think of a colour that might work well as a border, just a thin I-cord border, then let me know. I'd be quite interested to get some inspiration. So yeah, so I was tempted by the grey version. I didn't want to do a one colour version straight away. I wanted to have a bit of a play, but I might do a single colour next. There are so many things to knit, aren't there? I know we all do this, but I've been going through Ravelry recently trying to find some bits and pieces to knit over the summer. And I'm going to talk about that in my next podcast. There's so much temptation around. I've seen some lace weight shawls. That's what's going to be my next project once I finished that. I plan to take away. I bought some lace weight yarn over recently, which I'll be sharing in the next podcast. But I found some really lovely sort of wraps, wrappy, scarfy type things. So I will be knitting those on holiday, and some socks. I'm going to take some of my sock yarn away. But more of that next time. So that's all the knitting that I'm going to show you. Finally, I just wanted to have a quick chat about my Etsy shop. It's been very quiet recently. Life has been quite busy here at Eldenwood Craft headquarters, or family life has been busy, and it's impinged slightly on my sewing time. However, I have got an update coming next weekend, or this weekend coming. I'm planning it on either the 1st or 2nd of July, probably the 2nd, but keep your eyes peeled on my Etsy shop, on Instagram, or on my website, and I'll be updating the date and time of the update on there. But I thought I'd just show you a couple of the bags that I've got going in, just so you can get a taster of what those bags will be. I had found a new collection for Dashwood Studios, who are a fabric house. Designer by the name of Jojo Coco Designs had designed this beautiful fabric range called Birdsong, and that's fairly recently come out through Dashwood Studios. There'll be more information on that collection in the listings, and you can see, oh, there's a pussycat outside. Our neighbours have got a cat. We don't have any animals in our house. We're not really pet people, but we did have a hamster. We had 2 hamsters actually. We got a hamster for my daughter about 2 years ago. We called her Tonks. You'll get the reference, I'm sure. Where's the cat? Tonks was lovely. She was a short-haired, she was a Syrian hamster, grey and white. She was really friendly. She was lovely. So yeah, we got her for my daughter. You know who had to do all the clearing out of her and looking after her. And actually I got quite attached to her. And she lasted about 15 months. We came home from work, or I came home from work one day and found her in her bed, fast asleep and not waking up. And there were tears. There were tears from my daughter and there were tears from me. So that was Tonks, and after Tonks died, we got another hamster called Neville. Again, you'll probably get the reference. Neville, Tonks was a girl hamster. Neville was a boy hamster. He was a ginger hamster and very cute to look at, and very, very cute in the first few days. Neville used to sit in his food tray. He used to chuck all his food out of his food tray and sit in his food tray for a few days. That made us laugh, and we thought, oh, we've got a lovely hamster on our hands. And then I don't know what happened, but Neville turned into the hamster from hell. And we didn't really... We looked after Neville really well, and we tried to encourage him to be friendly, but he wasn't playing with us. He wasn't playing ball. So anyway, to cut a long story short, Neville only... I don't know what happened, but again, I came home from work one day and I found Neville at the bottom of the cage. I shouldn't laugh, it's not funny. But yeah, he was found at the bottom of the cage and he was no longer alive. We have absolutely no idea what happened. He only lasted a couple of months. I guess sometimes hamsters, I don't know enough about the hamster's way of life to know whether that's usual or unusual or whatever. But yeah, there were no tears this time when Neville died, but we laughed. Anyway, so that's our history of pet owning in our household. We're not massive pets. So anyway, that was the distraction from the cat. What I was about to say was that life has been really busy. Family life has not got in the way, that's the wrong way of putting it, but yes, our family life has been very busy over the last few weekends, so there's not been a huge amount of time for sewing, but I have managed to pull together, I've almost finished pulling together this collection that I'm calling the Birdsong collection. It's probably going to be a one-off. I'm unlikely to repeat any of these bags, but there are a good number of bags available. So I'm doing... let me open this up actually, so you can see it in all its glory. So we've got, I love this, some sock size zippered bags. That's one example. These are, you can see these are birds flying through the sky. And the other one that I brought down is one of my favourite bags that I've ever made. So, let me show you that this way, sorry. So yeah, you can see the birds are replicated in this fabric as well. And then, on the back, look at that. It's blowing out a little bit because of the small amount of light that we've got left today. I don't know what time it is. It's about, well, it's 4:45 in the evening, and look at the light, it's poor. Anyway, so yeah, so that's the back of the bag. I just love that. So there's a couple of these, and as well as the zip bags, I am also doing some drawstring bags using exactly the same fabric. So for most of the fabrics, there will be one zip and one drawstring. The drawstrings haven't had their insides put in yet, so they are still a work in progress. But yeah, there'll be one of each for most of the fabrics. This one, there will be a couple of these, there'll be 2 or 3 of these, I think it's 2, in the zip style. I didn't have enough fabric to do a drawstring bag, and I'd cut out the zip fabric, the zippered pouch fabric, and sewn that together before I realised that I hadn't done a drawstring bag in it. So anyway, to cut a long story short, there are 8, I think it's 8 drawstring bags and 8 zipped bags. Come on, Emma. 8 zip bags and 6 drawstring bags. So they'll be going in the shop over the weekend. After that, I know a lot of you are waiting for these, but I will be focusing in July on the sheet bags. Finally. I know I've had lots of messages about them asking when they're going to be ready. I've had some new sheep in. I've got a herd of sheep waiting in my sewing room, waiting to be sewed up. I've got the linings, everything's ready to go. So it's just a case of sitting down and getting them done. Frankly, it's been quite hot. And as you know, these are big bags, and it's just been too hot to sew them over the last couple of weeks. But I have made a promise to myself, and now I'm saying it publicly to you, that July will be the month of the sheep. So I'm planning after this weekend to go gung-ho on getting a good number out into the shop ready for you. And I may also do in July a design your own update pre-order. I may do in the middle of the month a pre-order design your own listing. I've had those in the last few months, and they've been really popular, and I've had some good feedback about those. People seem to like having the option to choose your own fabric and your own style of zipper. So I think I will probably carry on with those, but I'll see how I get on with the zip bags first for July. And then I think in August the shop's going to close. We all need a break. And I will be away for a little period of time on holiday with the family, and I will be thinking about lots of lovely things for the shop. I've got some new fabric upstairs that I really want to make, I really want to turn into bags before I go away, but that might not be possible. We'll have to see. Anyway, that's it for the Etsy update. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled on eldenwoodcraft.co.uk, on Instagram, and on eldenwoodcraft in Etsy, and the date and time of the update will appear there. So that's it for today's episode. It is a short episode. I just wanted to pop by and say hello, and to show you what I'd been working on, and to let you know about the shop update. If you have enjoyed the episode, then please do give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on any future episodes. I hope you're all well. I hope you are enjoying what summer we're having. Here in the UK, we had some absolutely baking weather last week. I'm sure if you follow other British podcasters, you will have heard them talking about how hot it was and bemoaning our lack of air conditioning in this country. We needed it last week, we really did. We ran out of ice from our freezer. We ate a lot of ice cream and ice lollies and cold drinks, and it was lovely. Very hot to be working in, but it was really nice. But this week it's wet and drizzly, and is planned to be like that for the next few days. Anyway, this is not a weather forecast. This is a knitting and crafty podcast. So I think I've run out of crafty things to talk about. So until next time, which I hope won't be too far in the future, probably 2 or 3 weeks, I will bid you farewell, send you lots of love, and wish you lots of happy crafting time. Bye!